Carlson, your round one winner for FWM Whelen Modified Tour.
Except consistent. He's been Mr. Consistent here tonight. He's going to come and have turn number 4 to get a back-to-back.
Nicholas Mole, Hunter Carlson, your new top 3 after the big incident, collecting all 3 of your leaders. and the checkered flag will wave. This race has been called early on lap 107, and that will give the win here to the 93 of Alan Zelstra. So
Oh, he did it again? No, this man always on the audio. That's Cody Deemers on production. My name is Scott Chime. I've got Emmett Crow alongside me, but we're here for the 4Wide Motorsport Whelen Modified Championship race, championship night. Tonight, a champion will be crowned. Will it be Hunter Zelstra, or will it be Hunter Carlson or Alan Zelstra? They are the two fighting at the top right now. Nicholas Mole and Wayne Cannon, they are also still in the fight, but they are going to have a crazy good night if they want to take this championship away from those top two, Emmett.
Yeah, definitely. And we think about last week, a lot of these championship contenders, they got involved in some wrecks early on, but luckily there was a lot of calamity going on, and they were able to get away with Carlson with the points lead and Zelstra still in second.
Yeah, Carlson, interesting to note, he's got 2 wins this season. They came at our opening races of the season. He had back-to-back victories, and then from then on, we have not seen him able to get the win, but he has finished within the top 10 100% of the time. Every race he's gone to, he's missed one tonight. Well, he hasn't missed any. He's finished all 7 races we've gone to. He's finished in the top 5 every time but one, Emmett.
Yeah, definitely. We saw last week he was dominating, but those tires just went away right at the end, Scott. And that allowed, who was it? Who won last week? Mason Lawson in his debut. So,
Yes.
yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. We'll be looking at those 2 drivers for sure.
Yeah, Mason Lawson won on debut last week. He was fastest in practice here in our session at USA International Speedway. Qualifying is going on right now. It's new driver Dylan Houghton at the top of the charts right now. Also, Cody, I'm going to pull a Wesley Outland. There is no S at the last end of my last name. I'm going to pull a Wesley.
Times.
Dude, Emmett, I don't know if Wesley's ever said that around you, but I'm gonna pull a Wesley out. But yeah. Here we are, USA International. What a track this is, Emmett, to have our championship race. Really long straightaways. The corners, a good percent of banking in them, but I don't know. This place reminds me of a Martinsville.
Yeah, kind of like a bigger version of Martinsville. We look at this track, as you can see, like you said, the long straightaways and not as much banking into the turns. A lot of drivers are going to have to get on the brakes early going into corner entry and make good corner entry and then feather it coming out of the corner on the exit.
You really got to be careful here. You can get loose. Again, qualifying still going on right now. It's Dylan Houghton at the top of the charts. Mason Lawson is out there putting his right now. We got race day of the FWM Whelen Modified Tour presented by Elevated TV. Christopher Smith goes up to the top of the board. We're going to talk to you about what is coming up here next. Tonight, we're obviously here for the championship, but tomorrow we'll go over to Lernerville for the JE Challenge Series. We'll hit the dirt for round number 3 of $750 on the line. Or excuse me, I believe it's $750 throughout all the paying purse 1 through 5. So really want to get over there. Then we got the RPES Daytona 250 at Daytona, obviously, and that is going to be going. That is Wednesday, March 5th. That'll be here on Elevated Television. And I know that a lot of the guys that run over there, they run dirt normally, but they will be on the asphalt at Daytona. That is going to be an especially good race. Then on Thursday, we'll have the FWM late model stocks at Southern. I always say this. It's South Boston. I always want no. What is it? I called a race somewhere else and I said Southern Boston. I was like, that is so incorrect. It's South Boston. I might as well always keep it with Sobo, Emmett. But the late model stocks will be there for their season. Oh well, I guess say season opener. I believe it's their second race, and then on Sunday we will have the Leadfoot Racing League at Southern National, and they will be there. It's going to be a great one. Me and Wesley are excited about that one. We've got all this awesome stuff coming up. Our next special event will be the Easter Bunny 150, as Wesley Allen let me know. It's usually the twin Easter Bunny 150. That'll be at Hickory, and that is going to be a great one. March 21st and 22nd. Find us at 8 p.m. Eastern here on Elevated Television. And if you want to hear all about the updates, go join our Discord. You can scan the QR code there or click the link in chat. You'll get all the updates, when our next broadcasts are, what series we are doing. You can find it all there. We will make sure to keep you updated. We want to make sure all our race fans are able to find our stuff very easily. So it looks like everyone has gone out in qualifying except Daniel Jones and Yogi Schleer. 23 cars make up the grid tonight, Emmett, looking really hot. I was talking to Cody earlier, and I was telling you I've never seen a league grow in the number of drivers as the season has gone on.
Yeah, and I just got to say, welcome to FWM. I don't know what Cannon and Manfu, all them guys over there do, but when they make a league, we always start little, and then it ended up growing to, well, now we're on iRacing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been awesome to see these guys. They put on excellent shows, as we've seen throughout the season here with the modifieds. And do not forget, tonight is our championship night, but do not fret. We will have more stuff on Monday nights from 4 Wide Motorsports. We will go after the break of spring break. We will go on to the mini stock tour. That'll be 8 weeks as well. Really excited about calling the mini stocks, Emmett. That is going to be a great one. You'll see here our graphic for the mini stocks, and that's going to start. It's going to start at 5 Flags 2 weeks from tonight, the normal time we've been joining here. We're going to go to Hickory, Myrtle Beach, Southern National, the Fairgrounds, Bristol. We're going to go to the high banks of Bristol, as well as Martinsville and Irwindale. Great schedule. Glad to be doing that. And I've never gotten to call mini stocks before, Emmett, so it'll definitely be a first.
Yeah, so the crazy thing about this schedule, I want to point this out. Daniel Jones, like I said, he handpicked this series, handpicked this schedule. And when I was talking, we were chatting about it, and somebody asked him, said, "Did you pick every track that you've won at in real life?" And he said, "No." So little info right there about the schedule for the mini stocks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a good one. I'm personal favorite, 5 Flags. I love that track. It's one of the only short tracks I've gotten to go to. I live in an area where there really are none, so I've gotten to take the trip down there. I'm going to go to the Rattler here in 2 weeks' time. Really excited about that one. Are you getting to go to anything recent soon, Emmett?
Not really, man. Ever since they shut down our dirt track here in the falls, there's really, I'm too busy. I wish I could. I wish we had some asphalt tracks, but there's not an asphalt track until you get down to Houston around here.
Yeah, nothing for me either. So there's a few dirt tracks in and around, but they're not as active around there. But we find racing where we will. And so I've traveled down to Pensacola, Mobile. I'll be going to the Rattler at South Alabama Speedway here in 2 weeks. It's going to be good. Christopher Smith currently on your provisional pole. And then it's Dylan Houghton and Blake Dorney. So 3 new drivers. We saw Blake Dorney last week, but that was his first appearance. And then 2 new drivers up at the top of the standings. So again, we've talked about it a few times before this season, Emmett. Newcomers trying to knock on the door.
Yeah, it was funny. I was sitting there and Chris Chris Smith messaged me and he was like, "Hey, I've been checking out y'all's streams." He said, "Are y'all looking for drivers?" And I said, "They're always looking for drivers." So I sent him the Discord and look, here he is right here sitting on the provisional pole.
Yeah, good drivers in that 24. Let's get a word with Christopher Smith. See if we can pull him here into the Discord. We've got him. I think he's on mute. Christopher, you got a copy? He's currently on mute. Let's see if
Yes, sir, I got you.
there he is, sitting on provisional pole here at the moment with a 20.739. Heard you were messaging Emmett about getting into the league, seeing if y'all needed drivers. He said, and I quote, "We always need drivers, so you're here to race tonight. Tell me about your experience with this SK Modified prior to tonight."
Yeah, honestly, I haven't really ran these SKs many. Just really those tour ones. So these are a little bit different. It's gonna be trying to save that tire, man. This track can get you if you overdrive it a lot.
Well, I can tell you now, officially, when we enter the session, you will officially be on pole. So you were talking about saving tire. Is that your plan for the race? Or is there any other strategy that you need to play tonight?
Yeah, if I can get out to a good little pace, I'll pace myself. But can't really do that if they're on top of me. So we'll see how it goes.
I got you, man. Well, thank you for talking to us. Good luck tonight. Christopher Smith, your driver sitting on pole. Let's get to your Studio 86 grid here at USA International Speedway for this 4-wide Motorsports Whelen Modified Tour Championship night. Christopher Smith on the pole in the number 20. To his outside, newcomer as well, Dylan Houghton. And it's Blake Dorney in the number 7, making his second start here of the touring series. And then it is Xander Camper in the number 6. Row number 3, Tristan Thiesse. I wanted to say McKee. It's not. It's Tristan Thiesse and Robert Eversole. Row number 3. Row 4, 7th and 8th, Austin Pack in the 81 and Tucker Sorelli. Row number 5, rounding out your top 10 with the 82 of Mason Lawson. Won last week. Can he go back-to-back? Hunter Carlson, your only back-to-back winner this season and championship leader.
Yeah, in row 6, we're going to find Terry Spainhauer in the 86 lined up next to your second place in points, Mr. Alan Zelstra, is going to be lined up in 12th. Row 7, we'll find Michael Fay lined up next to Austin Cansdale on the outside. Row 8, we'll find Nicholas Mole lining up next to David Brill on the outside. Row 9, we'll find Bradley Young lined up next to Tyler Allwart on the outside. In row 10, we'll find Gerald Berlin lined up next to Adrian Featherston on the outside. And then in row 11, it'll be Wayne Cannon lined up next to Daniel Jones on the outside. And rounding out the field will be Mr. Yogi Schleer.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, Yogi Schleer not putting down a qualifying lap. So they will start from the back here tonight. We got them double filed up. It's 1 to go here. We'll cross them through 3 and 4. But 2 new drivers make up the front row. But it's really tonight about our championship containers. We'll keep you updated as well as we can about the points. 125 laps lie ahead. Green flag waves here on championship night.
Yeah, Chris Smith going to get a great start right here on the inside, trying to get away from Houghton. But he's going to be able to do it. But here comes Houghton on the crossover, but he's just not going to be able to do it, Scott.
Houghton looked for the crossover, entered high into turn 1, got a low exit, couldn't find the speed off the corner to make that crossover happen. So they're all single filed out through your front 6, but it's too wide here for Austin Pack and Tucker Sorelli as caution will fly for the first time on lap number 2. Have to find what caused this incident. It's going to be your second in points. Alan Zelstra is going to be involved in this incident. He was running right behind Carlson at the time. Oh, yeah, I'm getting a look at it on my shot. But yeah, it looks like Alan Zelstra going to be involved. And that is not going to be how he wanted to start this race this evening. You'll see him in the back in that Red Bull machine. You see him right behind Hunter Carlson as he comes to enter the corner. Michael Fay in that number 48 is going to get into him. You'll see that Zelstra is going to check up here on the corner. Faye going to get into him, and then the 39 gets some contact from that as well. I believe that might have been Austin Cansdale, actually, that got some of that.
Yeah, as we
Yep,
take a
it was
look at,
Cansdale.
yeah, right here looking at the replay, yeah, Cansdale.
So
At the
Alan
wrong place at the
Zelstra,
wrong time.
wrong place, wrong time. I'd have to say the same. And so Alan Zelstra, your second in points. At the time, he was running just inside of the top 10 after the restart, but he's going to have to work his way all the way from the back. And normally, I mean, that hasn't been too much of a challenge for some of these drivers because, you know, some races we've only had 14, but tonight we have the biggest field that we've ever had here for this Whelen Modified Tour. And so tonight he has his work cut out for him if he wants to get back here up to the front and fighting with Carlson.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Scott. It's going to be interesting. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on Zelstra as he's trying to keep up here and trying to get in front of Carlson and get some laps led here so he can gain on that points.
Well, and talking about the points right now, Hunter Carlson, your leader, as we've said, 218 points total. Then it's Alan Zelstra with 195. So they are only separated by just over 20. I believe it's 23 points, the difference between those two. Then it's Nicholas Moley, 47 back from Carlson. And then Robert Eversole, 51 back. So third and fourth are only separated by 4. So there's a lot of championship movers tonight that could possibly take it from the other. Alan Zelstra, again, definitely has his work cut out for him. Emmett, do you think he can come back through this field and battle with Carlson and get a good enough points gap to win this championship?
Well, you know, that's really going to help him, Scott, being back there, because it can either be a good thing or bad thing, because if he's able to pass all these cars and get right back up here, then that's, are they using passing points? Because if they are, that's going to help him gain up there in the point standings for sure.
I don't think they count passing points. That not being one of their bonus points. We'll go single file here for the restart for the moment. So green flag up front for your leader, Christopher Smith. Dylan Houghton and Blake Dorney follow close.
Yeah, Christopher Smith, great launch on the restart. He was able to pull away from Houghton right there. And now we look back further in the field and we find Tristan Thiese battling with Shirelli, trying to at least. But Shirelli's actually going to fade on the outside.
Yeah, Shirelli was just battling there for a moment with Austin back. Mason Lawson, winner from last week at Lanier, going to make his way to the inside. So it looks like that inside is dominant. You can make some hay on the top side, but not for very long.
Yeah, not for very long at all, as we're seeing that bottom line looks like the place to go. It looks like the line that a lot of these drivers are running, definitely.
Championship leader Hunter Carlson, the inside of Terry J. Spainhour. This is the battle for the top 10 position, that 10th spot. So Hunter Carlson looking towards the bottom. Terry J. Spainhour working well on that high side. But again, that bottom line is the dominant one. So you have to make your way through. Hunter Carlson getting a little loose there. Look along here with the 44 of Shirelli. That's the car next that Hunter Carlson is looking towards. So Shirelli started in 8th in this race, looking to make some more. And speaking of Shirelli, he has finished in the top 5 out of, let's see, he's finished in the top 5 once out of the races that he's been in, as well as the top 10. So Shirelli, we saw him strong early on. He almost had a win when we were back at Concord, but it was all taken away from him in the waning laps.
Yeah, if we go back to that Concord race, yeah, talk about a moment. He took the lead away, and then it was all calamity, and allowed Zelstra, after the race was called due to time, allowed Zelstra to pick up that win and move him into that number 2 spot in points.
Yeah, Alan Zelstra has had a pretty solid performance. He got that win at Concord. But we ride along right now with Shirelli, again running in 9th so far. So I think the single file restart was the way to go, Emmett, because we're coming here to complete lap number 9. So the lap's starting to click off here for this race under the lights.
Yeah, it's really starting to click off, and it's just been a single file race. Nobody trying to move anybody. They're just running the races. We see Shireliki now going to move in front of Carlson and take that spot, Scott.
I think Carlson there very close by. He's going to get to the bottom here. Meanwhile, there's a battle more further in the front. Austin Pack on the inside of Tristan Thiese. Thiese going to blink out a little bit there, so Austin Pack is going to have to back out of that one. Shireliki trying to get back to the back of Mason Lawson. Let's remember, Lawson just went by him a moment ago. And Lawson, another one of those drivers that we know is strong. Hunter Carlson taking a peek to the inside, trying to give it a look, but he turns back to the outside. Now he'll go way wide. Will that open the door for Spainhour?
Yeah, as we're looking right here, as you see Carlson trying to make that move, but yeah, Spainhour is right there as we see Zelstra just riding around in no man's land.
Yeah, Zelstra, he's riding around 7 seconds back from Adrian Featherston. So obviously he made contact with someone. Here is the 33 of Austin Cansdale very close behind. And look at that,
man.
Zelstra fighting hard, and he's just going to spin it out in turn number 3. That is going to put Alan Zelstra a lap down. And before that incident, I was just about to mention it, Zelstra had not been able to pass before. He was still sitting in 22nd before that spin.
Yeah, he definitely was. And there for a little bit, Scott, I thought he was just riding around right there, but as we took a look at that replay, we saw he got a little loose coming off that turn and ultimately spun it out.
Look at this battle for second heating up. It's Dylan Houghton and Blake Dorney running second and third, but they have not let the leader of Christopher Smith get away as we cross into lap number 16 of 125. So a great race up front. Big moment for Shireliki. Shireliki got to the inside of Lawson and makes that pass. So Mason Lawson down to 9th. Shireliki up into 8th. Carlson right inside of the top 10, still looking to make up some ground. He's back to where he started. Let's go to commercial break here on lap 17. We'll get you back in just a moment for the rest of this race.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
Here at USA International, 26 laps complete. We look towards the halfway break, around 62 laps. So we're about halfway there of the halfway break. So I think, Emmett, that makes us 1/4 of the way through this race here at USA of the 125.
Yeah, and if I'm Hunter Carlson, I'm just thinking in my head, just keep running these laps, boys. Keep clicking them by, and let me go get that title. Because
Man, Shiriliki and Lawson here continue to battle back and forth between these two positions. They've both lost some to the drivers behind, but they continue to battle here. Meanwhile, up front, Christopher Smith continues to put on a show, completing 28 laps. He has led all of them, and Dylan Houghton has fallen farther behind. But look at Blake Dorney. He is right on the back bumper of that 24 machine. So Blake Dorney really has been trying to get into second, but that's one of the things it looks like here at USA.
Oh, he got
so difficult to pass.
Yeah, and as we saw right there, Houghton looked like he got loose, and Dorney almost got past onto the corner panel, but he just couldn't do. Oh man, he got loose again. Boy, I tell you, Scott.
I was gonna say, you saw him, and he got the apron.
Yeah, he got the apron, and I'll tell you, I think Mr. Houghton's got a handful right there. Got a handful, and Blake Dorney's trying to take advantage of it right there.
I think Dorney is definitely the faster car of the two, and as we talk about it, caution will wave for the second time here tonight. Oh my goodness, Mason Lawson is upside down. Shiriliki involved as well. We had just talked about how they had gone back and forth, fighting for position, and it looks like Mason Lawson was trying to make a pass, gets into Shiriliki, he gets up on his lid. Michael Fay, Daniel Brill get involved as well. Terry Spainauer able to avoid, and then you see Gerald Berlin comes in there, nowhere to go.
Yeah, just the wrong place at the wrong time for Gerald Berlin. You know, you're running in the back, you know, trying to avoid the trouble, but sometimes you just get caught up in it. As we see Mason Lawson go for a wild ride right here.
Well, we had saw Lawson and Shiriliki go back and forth between positions there. They had passed each other each about 2 times, and that time around, Mason was trying to cut it close, got into that left rear of Shiriliki. And you can see that Tucker, that 44, is going to bring it down pit lane. David Brill also are on pit lane, as well as Lawson. Zelstra also, I believe he came down, but he came down about 13 laps ago, and I've got bad news for your second driver in the championship standings. Alan Zelstra is 4 laps down, Emmett.
Oh, man, tough break for Zelstra. You know, he had such a good confidence coming into this race, and, man, tough break.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that is going to give Hunter Carlson a huge amount of confidence. The closest drivers next to him is Nicholas Moley and Robert Eversole. They are 47 and 51 points back. So they would have to have a monstrous day, while also hoping that Hunter Carlson would get involved in some incident. So really, honestly, if Hunter Carlson can realistically finish within the top 10 and Nicholas Moley and Robert Eversole being 2 or so spots back from that, then he will be secured in winning this championship. Want all the latest updates and news from eNASCAR or any of the things going on in iRacing? Scan the QR code right there, the official simulation partner of all things iRacing broadcast. So big thanks to the service, allowing us to put this one on. We're under our second caution flag of the night. It came here at lap 28, but talk about this. The driver that you recruited here tonight has led every lap.
Yeah, talk about wow.
Where'd you find this guy?
You know, Chris has always been a good buddy, going back to when I actually got my start in announcing, watching him run the turf tire and everything, and now seeing him up here. But yeah, man, what a topsy-turvy event.
Yeah, I think this is a possible yes sir moment of the race. I don't know if it's the yes sir moment of the race. I think, like Wesley Outland said last night, this might be a oh no sir moment of the race. And so we double them up. We went single file restart that last time. It worked out. We'll choose to go double file this time by. See how that will work out for some of these drivers. But yeah, Christopher Smith has done very, very well up front. And he really said that he doesn't have much knowledge of these SK modifieds. He hasn't raced them much.
Yeah, but he's putting on a show for sure for these fans. And shout out to that Oklahoma boy right there, showing them how we do it down there.
He's doing great out in that number 20 average running position. Obviously first, he's led every single lap. So great job out of Christopher Smith. Dylan Houghton looking to make something of it. He was talking about he had worn his tires out that last run. Let's see if they've cooled down and he can make a charge for the lead. Green flag away.
Yeah, as we saw Smith get a great launch on the restart. Now we go back single file, and it's really getting interesting from about fourth on back, as we see a great battle right here between Austin Pack and, I believe, car in the wall.
Oh, big trouble out back. Tyler Allwart going to get involved. Michael Fay going to be involved. And, talking about Michael Fay, I think he was one of those drivers that you and I saw at Concord that was putting himself in some hairy situations. Let's ride along with Fay in that number 48 SK modified and see where this all started. He was fighting there with, I think that was Spainhour. And Spainhour, looks like Spainhour tried to come up on the top. And Michael Fay was still there.
Yeah, and that's what it looked like, Scott. As we take a look right here at the replay, we're going to take a good look right here. And yeah, Spainhour, Eversole checked up, and Spainhour had to lift, but then he tried to clear, go up the track and clear Fay, and he was not clear.
Yeah, so look here with Spainhour. That was Bradley Young. They gotta. Who runs a pink and blue car, and why are there multiple of them?
That's what
Bradley Young. I had our producer fooled. I was so confident. Those cars both look great out there, but they definitely get a few of us confused. I've always said, Amy, that I love people that run flashy, colorful cars, except when they look the same.
Exactly, that is exactly right. It makes broadcasting hard, and I think about it's kind of like NASCAR with all the monster cars when they're all out there together, you know, or the Bass Pro Shop cars, you know, or something like that. But yeah, it definitely makes our job a little more interesting.
It does. So that was Bradley Young that had come up in front of Michael Fay and started that incident. Tyler Allwart got involved in that incident, so he had to bring it into the pit lane. He's still in the pit lane now, and he might have it parked for the night. He's one lap down. See if he goes any more laps down further. 33 laps complete in the race. So Bradley Young, it looks like Bradley Young is brothers with Spainhour. Or that's Spainhour is saying someone is brothers with Bradley Young. We'll have to see who.
That looks like it might be the dad, Terry. Maybe.
We'll have to see.
I
And
don't know.
if Terry Spainhour, our man in the YouTube comments, can further explain, we will know who they is. So,
They, them.
maybe it's because they are running the same car. Maybe that's the Spainhour and Young are brothers, although they have different last names. That confuses me. We will have to see. Get you further information, race fans, on who is all related and not. We do Emmett the Leadfoot Racing League here, and the Brown family runs that. We got
Right.
so confused at their family orientation of who was the uncle, who was the father, and who was the son, brother, nephew, that we had to actually get them to put it in our broadcast notes.
Yeah, definitely. Leadfoot. Of course, I was a part of getting to do a race in that league at Lanier with the Wesley Outland. But yeah, they put on a great show, and make sure y'all tune in every Sunday night.
Yeah, we got confirmation from Terry W. Spainhour, TJ Spainhour, and Bradley Young are brothers. We can get that one confirmed for you, so that would make sense as to why they run the inverted blue and pink paint schemes. But we're going to get it back going single file, and like I said, we had it single file last time at a good green flag run, but when we doubled them up, cautions fell behind. Green flag is away here, Emmett.
Yeah, and I know one person that's glad that we went back to single file is Mr. Christopher Smith. Boy, I tell you, Scott, he gets a great launch off those restarts.
He does. He gets a great launch here. Tristan the SA currently running right inside of the top 10, currently in 8th position. So that's where he sits. He had started up in 5th, so he's fallen a couple of spots, looking more towards the front. This is the 32 of Hunter Carlson. He is now running in 5th. Xander Camper in that number 6 machine right behind the car in front of Carlson is that red 81 modified of Austin Pack. So Hunter Carlson trying to end his championship night with a win and secure his dominance on the season.
Yeah, the only driver that went back-to-back, and like I said last week, he was dominating, and that the right front just went away, and you could see it as far back as he was fading.
Yeah, he was so close to getting that win. Mason Lawson won on his debut. We had 4 drivers do that so far this season. It looks like we could possibly have a 5th tonight, Emmett.
Yeah, we might have a 5th, and what a moment right there for Chris Smith getting involved with these FWM guys, and what a way to get your feet wet in this league for sure.
Looking good. Gotta imagine, see if he'll run the mini stock tour with these drivers. So we're right along with Austin Pack right now in that number 81. Definitely not going to miss that car. Austin Pack has won here in the series before, and he has looked very well. He's been very strong. We continue to look along with him in 8th. Blake Dorney right up front. You can see him right there, still trying to work his way around Dylan Houghton, but he has been unable to find a way to make the pass.
Yeah, and we do have a confirmation that this is Terry Spainhour, the father, not TJ, in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So that was those drivers out there running right now. Terry J. Spainhour currently running in 7th. Bradley Young trying to run his way back from that incident. He is running in 21st, but not too far back from Adrian Featherston. So Bradley Young will try to work his way up through this field. But again, I think this is one of the things. Track position is going to be key here tonight, Emmett, because it has been so difficult for these drivers to make a pass.
Yeah, and looking now, Scott, now we got Billy Cooper, the mom of Bradley Young, in there cheering Brad on. So shout out to Miss Cooper for sure.
42 laps complete. Now on to lap 43. So 1/3 of our way here in the race of championship night for the 4Wide Motorsports Whelen Modified Tour. And what a great 7 weeks we have had tonight here, the 8th, trying to round it off with put an exclamation point on the short 8-week season. And again, do not forget, we will have the mini stock tour coming up right after spring break. That'll be 2 weeks from tonight. It's going to be a great one. A lot of these same guys will be racing in it as well. That'll be a short track series as well. So Christopher Smith, Dylan Houghton, Blake Dorney, Austin Pack, Hunter Carlson, your current top 5. Looking through the chart right now, most drivers, there's a few of them that are farther apart, but I'm seeing so many drivers that are around 3 and 4 tenths apart, the gap between them.
Yeah, they're really starting to fan out from about, what is that, 8th and on back. They're really starting to fan out and get a little separation in between them for sure.
So interesting to see how some of those drivers can be spread out. Some so close to the car in front of them, but unable to find a way around. And I think that's one thing that we are really seeing here tonight. The track position will be key.
Yeah, and it's looking like Scott Houghton is catching up to Smith every lap, and he's catching him, but Bradley Young's starting to get into the clutches of Austin Pack right here.
Pack still sitting in 4th here, right behind the 7 of Blake Dorney, but those top 5 all close together, no more than 3 tenths of a second between all of them. Then it's a bigger gap, 8 tenths of a second back to the 6th car of Xander Camper. And I think these top 5 are your drivers that could be battling for the win at the end of the night.
Yeah, and I just want to correct myself, Scott. Yeah, Blake Dorney. We were talking about Bradley Young so much, I called him Bradley Young. But yeah, Blake Dorney. Oh!
Speaking of Dorney, there he goes. Spins it off of turn 4. He's able to get it back going back on the pavement. So he's not going to lose too many, but actually I lied. He's going to lose a lot of positions. He's all the way back. At least my timing screen's putting him back in the back. We'll see how he truly cycles out. But look at that. Trying to race hard to get back to the back of Houghton. And he just gets loose off turn 4.
Yeah, just got on that apron, and that apron's been treacherous for these drivers tonight for sure.
Been a place these drivers have been a little bit afraid of, and you could just see it. Dorney fighting for all he had. And I'm say it again, I think it's just been so difficult to make a pass. And I think we saw earlier on the opening start of the race, we saw a lot of people able to make passes, but I think as these tires have worn, the car is, normally as we see a run go on, a lot of times we'll see drivers get tighter. That's more often the case rather than not. But I think here tonight we've seen a lot of drivers get looser, really burning those rears off, trying to get the speed on exit. And so as the run goes on, you lose more and more grip. And so it's so easy to overstep. I think that's why we've seen a lot of drivers not able to make those passes. They're not able to get the grip to be confident enough to go to the inside.
Yeah, it looks like Zelster's going to get one of his laps back, so that helps a little bit, Scott, right there.
Alan Zelster going to get his lap. Daniel Jones comes into the pit lane. Wouldn't be surprised, and yes, I'm not surprised here to see some drivers come in and call a pit strategy. Mason Lawson coming into the pit lane this time. Blake Dorney comes in. Wayne Cannon now exits pit lane. And so I wouldn't be surprised. This might actually work out for Dorney. He comes to the pit lane here because I think these drivers are going to have to pit. What do you think, Emmett?
I think they're going to have to pit too, as much as tires are very valuable in this race. But so far, we haven't seen it yet. Interesting.
Seeing a lot of tire wear fall off on these laps. We'll get you those lap times next time around. Lights still on the pace car. But I can't say enough about Christopher Smith out here. Has led every lap so far. Dylan Houghton comes over the radio in second, still talking about how his tires are just gone.
Yeah, and it was very odd not to see any of these guys come in during this last caution. So that'll be interesting for sure, Scott.
Have to see when these drivers will decide the time to pit is. So some of these guys, we had a lot of drivers pit on our last caution. So will this work out in their favor? Will they decide to stay out, run it longer, and maybe pick up some track position for that? Have to let you know how that will work out for those drivers if we get to see them cycle up towards the front. So Christopher Smith down on the inside, Dylan Houghton will choose the outside. It's a new driver down in third, but still a red car. It's Austin Pack, and Hunter Carlson is now up to fourth on that outside. We stack them up, double file. Lights are out on the pace car. It will pull down to pit lane. We come by the stripe. It'll be 50 laps complete. 75 left to race.
Yeah, great launch once again by Chris Smith. He got out of Dodge right there and just got it down to the bottom. It was able to get in front of Houghton, but he was able to beat Houghton on the outside and then just drive that car all the way to the bottom as Houghton fell in behind him.
Too wide for second. Xander Camper on the inside of Spainhour. So they're going to go to battle here, working side by side. Meanwhile, it's the first battle for the lead that we've seen all night long. Dylan Houghton will go to the inside as the caution will wave. So the first time Houghton has gotten to take a look at the inside. Caution comes out. Daniel Jones, Blake Dorney looking to be involved. They both came down the pit lane last caution around. It looks like Daniel Jones has some damage.
Yeah, it looks like right here, Dorney went around and Jones had nowhere to go. Cannon also got a little bit of damage, it looked like.
I think it was, who is that 19 car? I know they're not actually, it's Adrian Featherson. Yep. He does run the 19, and so yeah, you can see there. Initially it was fine. Heavy impact there for that 17 of Daniel Jones. Let's take a look along with this. Jones riding his own time, biding his time, running behind Zelstra. And you can see here he just tries to go to the bottom and doesn't go all the way down for whatever reason. Gets that right front on to Blake Dorney. Gets him loose and slams him into the outside wall.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And then also, I want to retract what I said because it looks like Wayne Cannon got through there with no damage. Unbelievable.
No way. Gotta give a shout out. My good buddy Gavin Grubbs is in the chat now. That's my fellow co-host at my podcast. And so glad to see him watching along now. He's shouting out Daniel Jones's car. It's a good looking car. Too bad it just got smashed up. But luckily he has that fast repair. So Daniel Jones will get another chance to go out here and race in that number 17 NOS Energy SK Modified.
Yeah, I was talking to Daniel Jones about that. He said, it's not. He said usually it's not a NOS. It's I forgot what else, some other energy drink. But he said, I don't know why it's a NOS in the stream.
I couldn't tell you, but that's the way it presents itself here to our stream. But again, Christopher Smith continues to lead out front. And it was that time by that Dylan Houghton finally had a great run to the inside as the caution flew. And I was getting really excited there. We were having the battle for the lead for the first time. But do you think Dylan Houghton could try it again, Emmett?
Well, it looks like we may go single file right here. So he's going to have to get up on his horse and ride right here and get in front of Smith into turn, at least get alongside of him turn one and then get out on the backstretch with the lead.
Looks like we've got a little bit of a problem with our trading paints. There it goes. It's rebooting itself, trying to get all of these paint schemes back on the vehicles. So we'll get them loaded back in for you. Blake Dorney Racing says, don't worry, I'll be back up there, boys. So Blake Dorney sitting in 20th right now, still on the lead lap. So we're going to try to see him battle back. He was running so well earlier on before the initial spin. So it looks like we got everything cleared up with our trading paints. But Emmett, your thoughts so far?
The bottom. The bottom is the line, and make sure you save your tires because tires are just falling off just left and right. So that's my take on it right there.
Got to keep those rear tires on the car. You need as much grip as possible as the run continues on. Again, we expect to see these drivers come down to the pit lane at some point to get some new boots on these cars. The question is, when will it happen? Coming back around, single file restart, this time by green flag away, 52 laps complete.
Yeah, and look at Chris Smith, another great restart. You know, I mean, he has been solid on the front and everything, and just shout out to Chris Smith, even though I'm kind of biased, but shout out to Chris Smith.
Well, maybe a little bit of bias back there. Look here with the 6 of Xander Camper. We go back and forth through this field, pretty much single filed out. Mason Lawson looking to take a peek to the inside there on Bradley Young in that 089. So Mason Lawson trying to work his way back up through the field after going on his lid with incident with Tucker Shirelicki. So Mason Lawson back up to 14th. He'll look up to Michael Fay, next car in front. He'll look to him here, takes another look to the inside.
Yeah, trying to get to that inside, just trying to make a better day of what he had. And he's going to look to the inside right here, but he's going to try to pass him. He's going to get to his quarter panel. Man, great racing, Scott, right here.
Mason Lawson, we know, has speed in that number 82 machine. Again, caught up in that incident between him and Shirelicki earlier on. Now he's up to 13th. Meanwhile, up towards the middle of the field. Let's see, this is Gerald Berlin we're looking along with here. He got involved in that incident earlier as well. He's worked himself up to 10th. So some drivers getting involved in incidents earlier, moving forward. David Brill also moving forward in that 88. He's trying to work on Nicholas Moley.
Yeah, and he'll clear Moley coming down the front stretch into turn 1. And now he's got his eyes set on the next car in front of him.
Looking back up towards the front, Dylan Houghton sits in second. Austin Pack 2.3 of a second behind. Hunter Carlson looks to the inside of that Austin Pack here into turn number 3 and 4. So it's a battle for third. Carlson going to snag the apron there. That's going to slow him up. Meanwhile, looked like Houghton had a huge problem coming off the corner through the block into turn number 1 and keeps himself in second. Meanwhile, the door is open for Xander Camper to fight for 4th.
Yeah, Xander Camper really driving that car hard into that corner, but all this going on, Scott, and Chris Smith has said bye-bye to the field.
Yeah, Chris Smith moving 1.1 seconds out in front of all those behind. And so what a drive it has been for him tonight. Continue to look through this field. Pretty much single filed out everywhere we're at right now. But again, a lot of cars so close together. The pass could come at any moment.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something, Scott. Seeing Tristan Thiese's car, I know I mentioned this to you before, but it takes me back to the old NASCAR EA Sports games where that was one of the fantasy cars and the modifieds and trucks and everything, the Coffee Blast cereal. So, yeah, really a great, looking like a throwback scheme for sure.
Yeah, looking like a throwback scheme. So drivers continue to run single file. It's Christopher Smith out front as we come around. This time we're going to catch our midway break, presented now by the B-Main podcast. I know it says Elevated Mid-Race Report right there. We'll get it changed. Just struck a deal with them, and that is actually my podcast that I get to run with Gavin Grubbs, and we talk about all things short track, grassroots racing, dirt, asphalt, all the stuff. We got an episode being filmed right after this we'll have out tomorrow morning. But Emmett, let's talk about this race. Your thoughts so far? I know we just talked about a moment ago under caution, but again, what has this race looked like?
So this race has looked like, it's the bottom. The bottom is the spot to go, and like I said, saving tires and everything. It's been a lot of single file racing, but a lot of action. And Hunter Carlson looks like he might have this championship locked up, Scott.
Might have it locked up. Wayne Cannon spun on the back straightaway. That's going to bring out your caution during the mid-race report. So that's going to put us in our halfway, again presented by the B-Main podcast. And so we'll take a look here at what happened to this number 29. Again, he's running currently 4th in the standings, Wayne Cannon in that 29 Hooters machine. And so let's look and see what happened here, Emmett.
Yeah, it just looks like he got it on the got it on the apron a little bit, and you can tell he's getting a little swirly, and just looked like he just lost it right there.
Something we've seen out of a couple of drivers here tonight, just gets the apron and gets loose out of the corner. And so him being stopped there down on the apron, it was long enough for Iracing to bring out the caution during the mid-race report presented by the B-Main. But again, let us talk about Christopher Smith. We don't often see drivers come in and dominate. And speaking of your leaders, they bring it to the pit lane for the first time right at the halfway mark.
Yeah, gutsy call by Hunter Carlson to stay out during this caution. Unbelievable. We'll have to see if that plays out for sure. And Pax will get out in front of him. Wow.
I was definitely surprised to see him stay out there, especially on these old tires. Gotta wonder how that is going to affect him here. Maybe he has been saving and we haven't quite known it. But tires have seemed to be important so far. A lot of drivers complaining about how loose they are. So, you want to know what's up and coming? The big events here for us at Elevated TV. It's the Twin Easter Bunny 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway. Going to be a fun one down there in Hickory, North Carolina. I love that track. One of my favorite tracks in all of short track racing. That'll be on March 21st and 22nd. Join us on that weekend. It is going to be fun. That is a Friday and Saturday night. Going to have some fun in Hickory, Emmett.
Yeah, definitely going to have some fun, and it's definitely going to be some great racing. We go back to one of the original NASCAR tracks that it was started at, and great to see that, and unbelievable racing coming up for sure.
Definitely halfway completed here tonight from USA International. Looks like we're going to try to go double filed again, but it's going to look very different up front than what we have seen the entire race. Hunter Carlson, Xander Camper will be up towards the front, and it is Terry J. Spainhour and Tristan Thiese making up your front two rows. Then it's Robert Eversole, Austin Cansdale. And look at that, Austin Cansdale, he was that driver involved on the initial caution with Alan Zelstra. He's up to 6th. Meanwhile, Alan Zelstra is now only 1 lap down.
Wow. Talk about a way to finish off this season. You know, Zelstra, like I said, I retract what I said about Carlson's got this championship locked up, because anything can happen, and wow, talk about a great run from Austin Lucky Cansdale. You know, we don't call him Lucky for nothing, but yeah, great drive by him, and we'll see how it goes in the finish.
A great race of attrition for Alan Zelstra. Again, sitting 2nd in the championship points. If he can get another caution, he will be that first car 1 lap down. We line them up, double file, halfway complete here on championship night. Green flag is away for Hunter Carlson, your championship leader.
The back, Scott, the wrecking in the back, big wreck back there.
Big wreck in the backfield. We stay green at the moment. It's Tucker Shirelli. Oh, no, it's Dylan Houghton in the 24. He had just come down pit road. He's going to spin it on the front straightaway doing donuts. He's going to be able to keep it down. He's going to look like he's trying to rejoin the field. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe him and Eversole got through that. I can't believe that wasn't a caution.
Yeah, I can't believe that wasn't a caution either, Scott. Houghton clearly... Yeah, well, let's take a look at the replay right here, and we see Houghton come up on the outside line, and now the caution waves.
Now the
Oh, he got
caution
ran
out
in the
was
back.
big checkup on the restart. And so you can see he ran into the back of Austin Pack. But that definitely confusing as to what happened there.
Yeah,
Let's look here on this start. See how this happened. I think this was after the initial spin when we got put under caution. And I wonder if they put us under caution for that reason, for that spin, but it was way, way late.
Oh no! Oh, Chris Smith!
No, it wasn't. Oh my goodness. This caution continues to get deeper, deeper in the high rollers that we saw earlier on in this race. Christopher Smith, the driver that before this restart led every lap, gets into Yogi Schleer as Schleer was sideways in turn number 4 after getting tagged by the 73 of Tyler Allward.
Yeah, it looked like Scott. Yogi had a little extra. I don't think he spun out on his own. I think there's a little bit of contact, like you said, from Allward, but I think that's what spun Yogi out for sure.
Yeah, Tyler Allward making contact there with Schleer, and your halfway leader of this race, Christopher Smith, gets involved. He's going to stay on the lead lap. Doesn't look like he has any damage, so he might be able to try to work his self up through this field. But I think if we continue on like this, I'm more and more like the call for Hunter Carlson to stay out.
Yeah, definitely. But Scott, I'm going to mention something to you. Alan Zelstra is back on the lead lap.
Alan Zelstra back on the lead lap, and that, wow. I mean, you talk about never giving up. 4 laps down on the first lap of this race, and he's back on the lead lap with still halfway to fight through the field.
Yeah, definitely halfway to fight through the field, but you know, they say Red Bull gives you wings, so it'll definitely be interesting to see if that car starts flying around this track.
Can he get that car up towards the front after getting back on to the lead lap? We have got to watch to see if he'll be able to do it. Lights off on the pace car. Looks like we're going to go back to single file restarts. I think that's the thing that has helped us out the most. So Hunter Carlson will lead this race, and he currently leads the championship, and it looks real good for him. We'll have to see how all these drivers on new tires will fare through the restart. Green flag back out here at USA International.
Yeah, we see Carlson get a great jump, and he's got his teammate back there who he wants to see back there, Mr. Steinhauer. So I think if you've got a championship lead, that's the one card that you do want to see behind you as your teammate, Scott.
Look at this, Mason Lawson inside of Austin Cansdale. So Austin, lucky Cansdale, going to get a little loose on the outside. Mason Lawson going to go through Cansdale. Thought about pulling the crossover for just a moment. Backed out of it instead. Try a fight here back in the mid-pack. It's Michael Fay and Nicholas Amoli fighting it out for 11th. They're currently side by side, and Michael Fay going to pull through up into that 11th position. Looks like Daniel Brill's going for a move.
Yeah, Daniel Brill got on the apron. Oh my gosh, how did those cars not wreck right there? Daniel Brill got on the apron, and he was David Brill.
Excuse me, I said, that was me. I said Daniel, I meant David. Got you all slipped up there. So David Brill avoids incident with driver in front. He's trying to make a move on. And look at that. Blake Dorney, after spinning from 3rd place, is up to 8th.
Yeah, you know, Scott, he said, don't worry, boys, I'll be back up to the front. And was he not? Was he ever? He's right here running behind Austin Cansdale at the moment. But, yeah, what a great drive from Blake Dorney.
Yeah, Blake Dorney was messaging me this week talking about the modifieds, how excited he was here for this race tonight, and I see now why he was so excited. He has been running very well and very strongly. He ran great at Lanier last week, and he's been putting in excellent laps tonight at USA, rebounding very well from an incident. Oh, slips the nose on the back of Austin Cansdale, trying to tell Austin Lucky Cansdale, move out of the way or you're going to be unlucky.
Yeah, definitely. He used that chrome horn, definitely, but it's going to be interesting to see if they can pick off Lawson too right here, as Dorney has caught both these two cars.
Dorney has caught them both. He's got to try to get around. It's still Hunter Carlson out front.
Man.
Oh, man. Let's stay with this awesome battle with Blake Dorney. Big block by Austin Cansdale down into turn number 1. Blake Dorney coming over the radio. Not too happy about that block. Want to make sure they don't wreck each other. But Blake Dorney, definitely the faster driver of the two.
Yeah, definitely the faster driver. What a block by Cansdale. Really cut that air off that he had, and now Dorney's starting to slip a little bit from Cansdale, but not much.
It's a great fight all through the mid-pack. Austin Pack is going to go for a spin down the back straightaway. He was just fighting to the inside of Michael Fay. Pushed too hard, goes for a spin, and clobbers the inside wall.
Yeah, as we take a look at the replay right here, yeah, he just went around and, man, heavy contact to that inside wall.
Austin Pack, one of those drivers that had brought it into the pit lane.
Oh,
you can see there, just fighting hard.
I think he got on the throttle a little too quicker, Scott, than what he should have right there, and just spun her out.
Broke that right front, and look at this. A fleet of drivers coming into the pit lane. This looks like all your drivers from earlier on who had stayed out and did not make pit stops, Emmett.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be everybody, and but as we see, it looks like Carlson's going to win the race off pit road.
Carlson, see if he, I imagine he didn't, there's no way he took 4 tires that quickly. Have to see once the charts get all settled out how many tires he took. So Austin Cansdale, Blake Dorney decided to stay out. They had pitted earlier on, and so they're going to inherit some great track position from this caution.
Yeah, definitely going to inherit some great track position. What a move by Cansdale, you know, by his crew chief to tell him to stay out and get this lead. It'll be interesting to see how they can hold the leaders that pitted on those new tires. It'll be really interesting how that goes.
All going to play out here in the waning laps of this race. 75 laps complete, so under 50 to go when we take the green flag again here on championship night. Let's look through our field right now. This is going to definitely move our good friend of Alan Zelstra. Let's see where he has cycled out in all of this. As my timing screen will unfreak out. So Zelstra, he came into the pits that time by, so he'll still be in the back, but he's got a fresh set of boots. Yeah, I think I've been looking at in our chat the name pronunciation of Spainhour, and looks like I think we've got it right. I think we've been saying it right.
But I thought we have.
So, 33 of Austin Cansdale inside the Blake Dorney in the number 7. Nicholas Moley, Gerald Berlin sit in your second row. We go back for double file. Green flag away. 50 laps left here at USA. Big block by Blake Dorney. Tries to get to the inside.
Yeah, and Cansdale got a great launch right there, Scott, when Dorney threw that block on Moley. And now Cansdale getting really pressured from Dorney on that back bumper.
And there is battles all throughout this race. We're almost 3 wide in the back. Oh my gosh, big moment. I can't believe they didn't wreck 3 wide off of turn number 4. There's going to be a wreck. Spainhour just went to the inside. Yep, there's the caution.
Oh, there they go right there.
Yep. Alan Zelstra going to get involved. Spainhour gets involved. Oh my goodness. I saw it starting. They were wrestling it out. They were 3 wide, 2 rows back, entering turn number 1.
Wow.
Let's take a look here at where it all started. I think either start with Young or Spainhour. I couldn't tell which one of them it was. Yep, I think it was right here. This contact between, I think it was the 81 of Pack and a Moore started back there. So this was 2 separate incidents.
Yeah, it looked like Houghton got into the back of Daniel Jones.
Yeah, this was Spainhour. That had happened beforehand. He got away from that. So that was a contact between him and Austin Pack. Take a look at this here. Pack going to come down the track. Spainhour going to slide a little bit up. They make contact.
Ooh.
That's been Spainhour sideways. He saves it. Then there's Daniel Jones making the contact with Houghton. That gets Michael Fay, David Brill, and Alan Zelstra involved.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, Scott. Right here, it looks like Houghton gets it. Yep, got into the back of Daniel Jones.
Tyler Allwart. Wow, let's see if we can take an onboard moment with Tyler Allwart. He barely slipped his way through that incident. Right along with him. Oh my goodness! Got a little bit of contact there on the left front, but the seas parted for the 73 machine. Watch this again. You see calamity happens in front of him at Daniel Jones on the bottom.
Man.
Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah, you know, we already had the yes sir moment of the race, but I think, boys, we need to flash another one up there because what a drive by Tyler Allwart right there.
What a great job from Allwart to make his way
There
through.
it is.
I think that was the certified yes sir moment of the race. Hey, what did I say? What did I say, Cody? That it would come. It would come about lap 75. That was lap 76. So I think I just about called when our moment would come as a total guess. But I think. What do you think, Emmett? Would you think that was the moment?
I think that was the moment, definitely. I think we just flashed it up there, and we thought it wasn't going to get crazy, but, you know, these FWM races, they've been getting crazy at the end because everyone wants that checkered flag and the bragging rights in the league to say you won that week. So, who knows?
Well, there we go. So your yes sir moment of the race. So lights off back on the pace car. Austin Cansdale, Blake Dorney, Nicholas Moley, your top 3 as we go single file restarts. Yet again, green flag is away.
Yeah, we see Cansdale get a great jump on this restart, but Dorney is right there on the inside. But don't count out my boy Chris Smith, Scott. He's coming, and he's coming fast.
He is on the way, trying to move up now to the inside of Nicholas Moley. Moley going to give up the fight very quickly. So yes, Christopher Smith on the hot pursuit of Blake Dorney and Cansdale.
Yeah, definitely on the hot pursuit. And if these two get together, he's going to steal it away for sure.
Blake Dorney going to give a big shot to the 33 of Cansdale. You can see it. Dorney is faster, but earlier on when he was behind Dylan Houghton, he could not find a way through. Even though he was faster, can he find a way through Cansdale? Going to make contact on the exit of 2. That's going to get Cansdale loose. Send him side by side for the lead. Down into turn number 3. Blake Dorney to the inside. Austin Cansdale to the outside. New leader, Blake Dorney.
Yeah, for the second, Scott, but here comes Cansdale trying to fight on that outside, but he's not going to be able to do it. I think those tires have finally went away.
Tires finally going away on the 33 of Cansdale. He backs out of the move. So Blake Dorney officially single file out in front. Now he's going to try and run away with it. Meanwhile, Christopher Smith is in hot pursuit.
Yeah, Christopher Smith is catching up to Dorney lap after lap. I think he'll make, if he can get around Cansdale without any trouble, I think it's going to be side-by-side finish at the line or the last lap pass.
Could be. I'm excited to see what these last 43 laps will hold. So battle back in the back. It's Bradley Young and Xander Camper. Xander Camper has been battling in the top 5 a good portion of tonight, but got involved in a couple incidents. He's back outside of the top 10. Trying to work the inside of Young. You saw him have a little bit of moment outside of 4. So he is working there. It's opened the door for Robert Eversole right behind. Eversole, 4th in the championship point standings, or actually 3rd. He's trying to get some more valuable points.
Yeah, trying to get those valuable points, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to catch Mr. Hunter Carlson for that championship.
Speaking of Carlson, he's making a move to the inside of Nicholas Moley. This, the position and battle for 4th. So great job there by Carlson, makes it on through. We see here Mason Lawson still hounding the back bumper of Terry Spainhour.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Scott, I just want to mention Chris Smith did pass Canstow with no problem, and he is right there on Dorney.
So Christopher Smith, we're going to go and we're going to take you side by side, presented by Stagger Pros. You won't miss a moment here from championship night of the 4-wide Motorsports Whelen Modified Tour.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. Iracing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the right. run down in the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and
my
to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Apromitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
For the lead on between Christopher Smith and Blake Dorney. Christopher Smith led all of the opening 62 laps, but went to pit, got mired back in an incident. But after the others went to pit, he was able to get here back towards the front. Blake Dorney involved in an incident earlier on, pitted earlier, and so he was able to stay out. But Christopher Smith looks to be the faster modified machine.
Yeah, Chris Smith using that inside line, and that's where the line has been all night, and he's showing it. It's so strong on that bottom line, but I got to give it to Dorney for staying out on those tires and able to keep it on the outside. Unbelievable job.
Yeah, Blake Dorney, 50 lap-old tires compared to Christopher Smith, 53 lap-old tires, so 17 laps of difference. And look at this, Blake Dorney is just able to pinch down Christopher Smith on the exit. That gives him a great run down the back straightaways. So Dorney definitely a fast one. You can see Smith starting to get loose. Dorney has a great battle from the outside.
Yeah, he's got a great battle going on that outside line, but Smith is just strong on that bottom. But yeah, like you said, Scott, Dorney's able to pinch Smith just a little bit. But that's how he gets that great corner exit right there and gets a great drive off the exit.
What a move from Blake Dorney to get it back on the outside. So Christopher Smith, obviously the faster car, was able to catch Dorney so quickly, but he was unable to make the pass. Austin Cansdale is caught back up to these two lead cars because of them running for so long side by side. But again, what a defensive drive from Blake Dorney.
Yeah, definitely a great defensive drive from Dorney. And now, he's got it down on that bottom, and he's showing that inside line how he can just control this race. And I tell you, I think Chris Smith's just saving his tires, boys, because we got 22 laps to go. So I think once he gets about 10 to go, that's when he's going to go.
Smith looking to try to make a move. He's laid back, trying to save some tire at the current moment. Nicholas Moley under attack here, back for the 9th position. Xander Camper right on his rear bumper. Robert Eversole there as well. So they sit 9th, 10th, and 11th here at USA. And we cross over 20 laps remaining.
Yeah, 20 to go, and the action is really heating up on the track. Definitely. Look at these fans just hooping and hollering for these drivers. And I'll tell you, Scott, this is a great way to end the season for sure.
Excellent way to end the season. Lots of battles going on track everywhere you look. Looks to me right now like Nicholas Moley a little bit slower than these drivers behind. Big moment for Xander Camper. But again, like we said, so difficult to pass. Moley able to hold the defensive line.
Yeah, but Xander Camper got a great run off that corner exit on that bottom line. But Moley's going to just diamond the corner and shoots back in front and takes over the position on the inside.
Takes over the position. Tristan Thiesse working back here, holding off. Oh, big slide job by Xander Camper. Got to move up and move Moley out of the way.
Yeah, he said head him out, move him out, rawhide. Definitely, Scott. And I think he's thinking about tomorrow's night when we have the dirt series. We just saw a slide job on the asphalt tonight. Wow.
It was a great job. Good move from Xander Camper. Got to wonder if that's what Christopher Smith needs to do the next time he gets to the inside of Blake Dorney. But these 5 drivers right here all nose to tail. And here we look back towards that lead battle between Smith and Dorney. And again, what a job by Dorney. You know, he ran top 3 on the first opening half of the race, spun out, fighting hard to get to that second position, then got involved in another incident with Daniel Jones. play the pit cycle, play the strategy to get here out front. But Nerf Bar going to give it to the inside of Dorney. Christopher Smith not content to ride in second.
Yeah, he's not content, but I think he might just be seeing what he can do when it's time for him to try to make a move, and he's just letting it go, letting the laps click down, and then when it's time to go, that's when he's going to get up on that horse and ride, son, all the way out of town.
You saw him get straight up to the back bumper there of Dorney. He is backed off now by about 0.4 of a second. So got to wonder if he's backing up, trying to build up a run yet again, because we've talked so hard. Wow, you see Smith get the outside wall there. So Dorney about to come up on a little lap traffic in front. See how he will manage this one.
Yeah, that's definitely going to play a factor. And Chris Smith probably saw that coming. That's why he backed off, trying to see. Oh my gosh, Yogi.
Yogi Schleer goes down to the bottom. That caution is the last thing that Blake Dorney wanted to see. And you saw that Schleer and Dorney made contact.
Yeah, it looked like Yogi was just coming. Well, let's take a look right here at the replay. It looks like Yogi might have got spun out, and he was just trying to... Yeah, he hit the wall. Oh, man, heavy damage.
Hit the wall, heavy contact, trying to get down to the apron here. Goes too fast and gets into Dorney. I've got to wonder if Dorney has any damage on that left front.
Well, actually, Scott, looking at that, it looked like Dorney just got a little too far low on the apron, and he didn't see Yogi right there. So I don't think Yogi was going too fast. But yeah, I think that Dorney just got it down too much, and it was just, like I said, it was a racing accident, but it looked like Dorney just got just a little bit too far down on that apron.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm taking a look at it right now, and I can tell you that all four tires are above that yellow line for Dorney, and Schleer definitely came back up onto the racing surface. So, but I think luckily for Dorney, all the contact was made to the outside Nerf bar, so his tires are saved. Now, we'll give Schleer the point that left front of his was destroyed, so I imagine it was very difficult for him to turn left.
Yeah, definitely hard for him to turn left right there, as we saw the hard contact into the inside wall. But yeah, tough break, and this is going to make for an exciting finish for sure.
When we come back, green flag, we'll have about 10 laps remaining in the championship race here tonight from USA International Speedway. And talk about Blake Dorney, what a job he has done in the latter half of this race to work his way back up through the field, hold position, put a great defensive move on Christopher Smith. Now the question is, how will this restart go? Will Christopher Smith try to pinch down Dorney, or will Dorney get a great jump on the restart?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. And another interesting thing, will Dorney accidentally spin the tires on this restart and stack up that bottom line? That'll also be interesting, because remember, like we said, Dorney and Cansdale are on 50 more laps on their tires than anyone else in the field. And that'll definitely be interesting for sure.
Yeah, 17 laps, the gap between the tire differences there. 2 by 2 they go. Let's decide who the race winner will be. Great jump for Dorney. 11 to go.
Yeah, Dorney threw a heck of a block right there, blocking Smith, but Smith too good on that high line, gets it back to the bottom. Here he comes, Scott.
Big block by Dorney. Christopher Smith looks to the inside, gonna give the back bumper to Dorney. He's gonna try to do it.
Oh, man.
The leaders take each other out. You can't write it better than this.
just happened?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. Christopher Smith was not going to take the blocks from Blake Dorney. He moves him up the hill, gets into him a little bit too hard. Then 7 goes around. Christopher Smith gets that right front up on him. That sends him up and over and into the wall.
Yeah. Wow. How many races have we had like this at FWM where the leaders take each other out in the final laps?
I mean, maybe a few, but nothing like this before. Arguably, your 2 fastest cars all night long, and with 10 laps remaining, they take each other out.
Unbelievable. Now, I'll tell you something interesting, Scott. You know, how hard is Austin Cansdale going to race Hunter Carlson if Carlson gets past Pack right here? That's
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. Austin Cansdale's heart has got to be beating out of his chest. I mean, Austin Lucky Cansdale, we saw him have an unlucky moment earlier, but he's luckily found his way up towards the front off the restart, playing a strategy with the tires. And so he is probably very nervous about this one. But like you said, Hunter Carlson currently sitting in 3rd, trying to cap off this night with a championship crown in his back pocket.
Yeah, and it looks like we may go single file, so that's going to help Cansdale out for just give him just a little advantage. But, man, this is going to be exciting right here. I can't wait, Scott.
An exciting end awaits here for this night under the lights from USA International Speedway for the FWM Whelen Modified Tour. Lights off on the pace car. Back out to single file restarts. That's going to help out Cansdale. How hard will he defend from Austin Pack here to get his first win in the series?
Yeah, and here we go, Scott. Coming down the backstretch, I'll tell you. Or will Austin Cansdale, will he try to stack him up just a little bit just to give him that little advantage? He's got to hold on for 10 laps, though.
He's ready to go. He's going to hit that gas as soon as he can. There he goes, out the restart zone. Green flag flies, 10 to go.
Yeah, and look at the launch he got. Look at Cansdale get that great launch right there. Big, huge launch. And you know they say Jimmy Johns is freaky fast. Well, that 33 is freaky fast for sure.
Well, you know who's freaky fast? Austin Pack. He's already closed down the gap. He's on the back bumper of Cansdale.
Yeah, Austin Pack and it's the Austin and Austin show for sure. But look at Cansdale, the way he defends. That's what gets me about Lucky. He's so aggressive, and he makes the moves when it matters most.
Well, Austin Pack looking to make the move now, uses the Nerf bar, try to move that 33 out the way. You see Cansdale down on the bottom using a defensive line. Meanwhile, Mason Lawson going to give a big shout to the championship leader. Lawson up to 3rd.
Yeah, as we see these guys run side by side. Here comes Lawson. He said, I want in on this party, boys, but look at Cansdale on the inside. Just trying to get the advantage, Scott.
Trying to get the advantage. You can see Austin Pack decided to go towards the high side, pinch down the 33, and get the lead from the high side. We saw Blake Dorney do it earlier. Can Austin Pack repeat the process?
Yeah, it looks like Cansdale, though. He's too good on that bottom line. I don't know. Pack has got it, but Cansdale looking good on that bottom line, Scott.
Oh, he's going to get loose there. That's going to get him lost the lead. Mason Lawson right on the back bumper, but give it to Austin Pack.
Yeah, Austin Pack takes the lead away, but this is not over yet. And look at Hunter Carlson. Hunter Carlson, your championship leader. He wants to end this season with a win.
Want to end the season with a win. Hunter Carlson trying to do it. He now goes to the outside of the 82 of Mason Lawson. While these drivers continue to fight, Austin Pack going to get away. Lawson gives another big shot to Austin Cansdale. Cansdale puts on the block.
Yeah, Cansdale really. Oh, there he goes. He turned him. He turned him!
Mason Lawson unhappy to ride behind the 33 of Cansdale. Cansdale puts on an aggressive block. Lawson said, oh no, you're going around.
Wow. What a way to end. And I tell you who does not want to see that caution is that 81 of Austin Pack. I mean, he had this race in the bag.
Well, seriously, because you know why? Now that this happened, that's going to put Hunter Carlson, championship leader, 2-time winner of the season, directly to his outside.
Yeah, definitely going to put it to the outside, and it'll be interesting. Mason Lawson, don't count him out, though. Can he go back-to-back?
He'd be only the second driver to do it. Lawson, it looks like it's going to grid him. It's going to put him in second from the moment of caution. So Carlson will line up third there. Nicholas Moley coming here into the pit lane. Michael Fay in this time as well. Dylan Houghton, Tristan Thiese also bring it down here for a late time pit stop. Oh, look at this. I want to make a note of this. Blake Dorney has made himself back up to 12th, and Christopher Smith has made their way back up to 8th.
Wow. So, anything is possible.
I don't think there'll be no way Christopher Smith can be able to get up to this lead. When we come back to green, I believe it'll be about 4 laps remaining. But Christopher Smith really showing that he had the speed here tonight. But like you said, I think we've got a great ending set up for us. What a calamity, what excitement we've had in the past 10 laps.
Yeah, definitely been exciting. And what a way, like I said, what a way for FWM to introduce this league to iRacing world with a championship race finale like this.
Yeah, I really thought when we were talking about earlier how this place was so difficult to pass that we were going to see these guys just go green all night long, single file, hard to pass. But, man, we have turned up the heat on the burners on the stove because these drivers are boiling under their helmets, ready to put it all out on the racetrack. We come back to the white. Well, we come back. It'll be 3 laps to go. Lights off on the pace car. Austin Pack, Mason Lawson, teammates 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So great job from the teammates, Carlson, Spainhour, and Bradley Young. We come back, 3 laps to go. Will it be Austin Pack, Mason Lawson, Hunter Carlson, or someone else? Green flag back in the air.
You said someone else, and who knows, because I'm telling you, this is going to be a great finish. Pack got a great start, but here comes Mason Lawson trying to look to that inside.
Lawson looked to the inside, couldn't get it. Hunter Carlson again give there Mason Lawson a shot. 2 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, as we see Pack coming into turn 1, he'll continue to lead, but look at Lawson right here as they come down the back stretch. Scott, take him home.
And we take him home, but we're going to take him straight to caution. And so we're going to have to stack him up one more time. Xander Camper, Tyler Allwart, 2 of your drivers involved, an incident on the back straightaway. Take a look at it.
Looking right here, Allwart, as we see him just driving along, and then, Xander Camper.
That incident started sooner.
Yeah, I think we need to go back a lot further than that.
See what happened with Camper. He was obviously already backwards on the back straightaway. So Tyler Allward here in the pit lane. Let's take a look along with Camper. Oh, looks like it's going to be a stack up. David Brill slow off the corner. And you saw Blake Dorney coming up as well with speed. And while they get stacked up, Daniel Jones is going to go up and over on the back of Blake Dorney.
Yeah, let's see if we can go on board with Daniel Jones and take a look at that, because that's going to be a wild ride for sure.
Interesting ride here from Daniel Jones. Will ride along from the helmet. Yeah, just jumps that right rear up on the top of the 7 of Blake Dorney.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, and man, what a way to. We've already said this is the best way to end it, but what a way to really end it right here.
Well, I mean, you say that. We've got plenty of green, white, checker attempts. I say plenty. We have 2. So this race will be ended at least in 2 green, white, checkers. No more, maybe less. Single file, we will keep them. But it's Austin Pack leading Mason Lawson and championship leader Hunter Carlson. And our producer asked a great question. Where is the pace car? Austin Pack pacing the field on his own. And I think a lot of these drivers are waiting for the pace car to catch up. Something is happening. This is weird. Pace car currently not on our timing screen. Looks like all the drivers are just going to stop. There it is. We found it. Good job. Yay.
That's it.
We did it. Pace car out of turns 3 and 4 will lead the field. It's actually Austin Pack up in the front. So glad that we found that pace car. Looks like drivers had not checked up for it. So we'll get them all restacked and ready to go for our first attempt at green, white, checkered. And again, Emmett, I did not expect an end like this.
Yeah, wow, what an ending to this race, and this is going to definitely be unbelievable.
See if we can get it done here under the first green, white, checkered attempt. So when we get back to it, it'll be 2 laps remaining. Austin. Our producer is in my ear, making me laugh.
I know, that's why I was confident. You know, Scott, a hamburger green bean sounds really good.
Look. Normally producers will hit you with the, coming back to green, or hey, putting up a graphic. Well, our producer Cody Demers will say, hey, I'm eating some green beans and something random. Right? I'm trying to tell you at the end of the championship race, green, white, checkered, 2 laps to go. Can we get it done in one go, or will we see the caution fly again? Green flag is out for Austin Pack and Mason Lawson.
Yeah, Austin Pack got a great launch, but look at Mason Lawson right there alongside of him, trying to get to that inside line, and he's right there on that back bumper. Scott, they're coming to you to take him home.
Hunter Carlson truly far back. Mason Lawson going to give a big shot to Austin Pack. We'll come back to the We Are CRN. 1 to go. Mason Lawson right on the back of the 81. He's going to move him out of the way. They bang doors. They're going to crash. Leaders will crash. Hunter Carlson going to move his way through, but that's Terry J. Spainhour. He's going to look to the end. Checkered flag for Terry J. Spainhour, gets his first win. Oh my gosh!
Wow, and your champion is Mr. Hunter Carlson. Unbelievable.
Wow. Holy moly. Terry J. Spainhour, a driver who was so fast at Concord and got caught up in a late race incident, here driving the 86 Studio 86 machine, and he gets a win on championship night at USA International. Hunter Carlson ends up finishing what looks to be 15th. I don't think it's for sure that he's our champion, because Alan Zelstra finished 4th.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. We're gonna have to take some time out, but we will let everybody on the Discord know when the champion is announced.
Yeah, we're gonna let's see if we can take a moment here to go back, break down that last 2 laps, because so much went on between these drivers on our last attempt at green-white checkered. We saw Mason Lawson giving the bumper to the back of Austin Pack, and let's take a look at it here. Emmett, green flag flies for these drivers, and so Mason Lawson was absolutely, he was definitely in this moment faster than Austin Pack, kept giving him the bumper, and right here through the first lap we were pretty clean, but the action heated up through this. Big moment to the bumper, that gets them sideways. We come back to the We Are CRN 1 to go. This is, I guess, our new official yes sir moment of the race. Mason Lawson goes for a spin, tries to correct it, gets into Austin Pack. Pack was able to keep it going, and he'll end up finishing third. There, Zelstra sneaks through, but this, Mason Lawson, I think he got involved in this. Blake Dorney was involved in this. Nicholas Moley, David Brill. So that happened after the initial contact down the back straightaway. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll get you back with our interviews from our winners and the champion of who it is to be decided.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. Iracing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
Back at USA International, and we had a wild run toward the end of this race. We're going to start with your third place finisher, Austin Pack, in that number 81. And Austin, you led us a while there towards the end, last green-white checkered. You got Mason Lawson, winner last week, behind you. We know that he was aggressive last week. We've seen him aggressive here tonight. Run me through those final 2 laps and where you got involved in incident.
Man, I don't know. I guess just racing. I mean, I don't know what happened behind me. All I know is I got turned and coming out of the corner, and I was like, well, this is never good. Don't know how I kept it going, but we did. Still managed to finish third. Still have yet to figure that out, but appreciate Wayne for putting this on. Hate I had to miss the first few, which got me out of the points battle, which I think would have been pretty good. But yeah, overall, just good night. Top 3, I'll take it.
Emmett?
Yeah. Talk about that. So, like, did you have that Ricky Bobby moment? Yeah, I'm flying through the air. This ain't good. Right there when you were talking about that. But
yeah, pretty much. I was like, there's no way I'm going to finish this race on the last lap, but yet here we are, sitting P3.
Yeah, let me ask you, Austin, are you going to be running the mini stocks?
I don't know if I run the mini stocks, but I've been running the late models, leading the points in that right now. So I think I'm going to stick with Thursdays in the late models. Those are pretty fun cars.
Pack looking well in the late models. It was awesome to get to watch you, and I really thought you were going to get it to the end right there, but Calamity went on behind, but you still end up finishing third. Before I let you go tonight, Austin, anyone you'd like to thank?
Like I said, just thank Wayne for putting this on. I know it takes a lot. We all got full-time jobs. So like I said, really appreciate that. Gives me something to do, after put the baby to bed and just have a little fun.
Austin Pack, your 3rd place finisher on the night here at USA. Thank you, Austin.
Thank you.
So we get to our 2nd place finisher, Bradley Young, in the 089. And Bradley, you'll go back if you watch the broadcast. Me and Emmett were laughing about you and Spainhour's paint schemes being almost inverse of each other. And you got involved in some incidents here tonight. Tell me about the recovery from that to come home 2nd.
So it was a tough race getting up there, but I just stayed with what I had and worked my way up.
It was extremely impressive to see you do it, Emmett.
Yeah, I tell you, y'all's biggest fan, Miss Billy Cooper. She's been
That's
in our
mother.
chat. Yeah, she's been in our chat, hooping and hollering, and I know she's celebrating this 1-2 finish for y'all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm ecstatic right now.
Y'all did an excellent job out there. And Bradley, you had an up and down season, but what does it mean tonight to come home with a 1-2 for you guys as racing team?
This is my best finish yet, so it means the world to me.
Glad to see you up there. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Oh, absolutely. TJ for sure. He got me into all this. He's taught me everything I know. And, of course, Foothill Septic and, my family and my team.
Well, thank you for joining us. Will you be running the mini stocks?
I'm planning on it if work doesn't get in the way.
Gotcha. Well, we hope to see you there in 2 weeks' time. Thank you, Bradley.
Thank you.
Bradley Young coming home 2nd. That leaves us with Terry J. Spainhour, your winner tonight. And Terry, we talked about it. You were so close at Concord when we had that race. It was race number 3. You got caught up in Calamity with Shireliki. But tonight, Calamity happens in front of you. You are the beneficiary. What does it feel like to get that win?
Feels good to be in the right place at the right time instead of the right place at the wrong time. It's nice to finally get a win in this series. I really like these cars. This is my favorite race car. And it's nice to finally be up front, and it's especially nice to have my brother behind me. I really wish we could have did a 1-2-3 with me, him, and Hunter, but I really had a blast racing tonight.
Emmett?
Yeah, talk about, dude, what was going through your mind when you're just sitting there, you're like, okay, good, 3rd place finish to end the season. But then all of a sudden, the front 2, and Austin Pack goes up in the air. What was going through your mind?
Get out of the way for one. But the entire restart, I was almost certain it was going to happen. Both of those cars are pretty aggressive drivers. It's just how it is when you're fast. And I knew that there was a chance that there would be a mistake, so I was prepared for it in one way or another. Just didn't think it would end up with the win.
Well, we saw you to the end right there, and you put yourself in position all night long, Terry, and you end up with the win. Before we let you go tonight, anyone you'd like to thank?
There is, of course, my family, my friends, my wife, and there's one person I specifically want to dedicate this race to. I want to dedicate it to baby Parker. He is 5 months old. He is in the hospital right now waiting on a heart. I hope everybody can think of him while he's waiting, and I just hope that he has the strength to get better and they have the patience to wait for the good to finally come.
Thank you, Terry. Congratulations on the win and the dedication. That leaves us with Hunter Carlson, your champion here for the 4Wide Motorsport Whelen Modified Tour. And Hunter, it didn't come 100% with ease. You opened the season back-to-back victories. From there, you finished within the top 10 at every race. Talk to me about your way to how we ended up here tonight at USA.
Consistency. Just once I won those first two races, I'm thinking, I think I can do this. And just a lot of luck, missing a lot of wrecks. And when I did get wrecked, I came back to the front and just being consistent, finishing top 3 out in all but 2 races this whole season. And it's been a long road, but that consistency really paid off tonight.
Emmett?
You know, me and you go way back to the old console days. And when we were talking about, coming over to iRacing, who better off to win a championship than you? I mean, for real, Cannon's got the console, but here you got the iRacing on him now.
For sure. No, he hasn't been on for very long, but over the next coming months, I feel like you're gonna see a Wayne Cannon come to life, and I think a few wins is coming his way.
So, Hunter, we round out tonight here with the Modifieds. In 2 weeks, we start up the Mini Stock Tour. Will you be running?
We'll see. That's to be determined.
Gotcha. Well, congratulations tonight, man. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank TJ over at Studio A6. He's been my #1 fan, my #1 supporter since day one. I love having him on the car. And everyone at Fast Angry Racing Team, TJ, Brad, Christian, Brandon, everyone on there. It's they keep me calm, they keep me focused, and they've really helped me with my speed and everyone else that's involved in this. Cannon for putting this thing on, allowing me to admin this season, and wow, I can't believe we did it.
Well, again, a big congratulations, Hunter.
Thank you.
Hunter Carlson, your 4Wide Motorsport Whelen Modified Tour champion. That's going to do it for us here tonight at USA. Before we end this broadcast, look at what's coming up next here. The JE Challenge Series tomorrow night from Lernerville, round number 3, $750 on the line. Then it's the RPES Daytona 250. That's going to be on Wednesday night here. Then it's the FWM Late Model Stocks at South Boston. That's going to be a good one as well. And on Sunday, we'll have the Leadfoot Racing League at Southern National Motorsports Park. A lot of stuff, a lot of awesome stuff coming up, Emmett, here on Elevated.
Yeah, we got the Easter Bunny 150 coming up too at Hickory.
Easter Bunny 150 coming from Hickory. Going to be a great one as well. Your final thoughts on championship night here from the Modifieds?
I'm speechless, Scott. I mean, wow. Here I thought I rolled a perfect 7 with picking getting Chris Smith in there, but man, talk about it. It came down to tires, and it came down to ultimately, when was it the right time to make that aggressive move, and when were you going to make it? And it also came down to just being at the right place at the right time.
It did. Terry J. Spanauer, your driver, in the right place at the right time, getting the win to the night. But it was really about Hunter Carlson clinching the championship, probably very closely above Alan Zelstra. Zelstra finished 4th in the race. So that is going to bring us to a close tonight here from Elevated Television. Cody Deemers on production. Emmett Crow, my colleague in the booth. My name is Scott Shive, and we'll go to the Mini Stock Series in 2 weeks. Don't forget to join us for that here on Monday nights. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow at Lernerville.